Of course, it's the 13th, and Shonen Jump news is going to start rolling on out. So I hope you guys are ready for a couple of interesting segments. So it looks like we are getting the ability to now link summon with other resources outside of the field, which it's about time we got an egotistical archfiend for this shit. So let's dig into this, shall we? Latency. So you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is added from your graveyard to your hand by an effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, which I actually kind of like this effect. Graveyard Recursion to link up is pretty good. And remember, it doesn't say once per duel, it says once per turn, so that's a pretty good restriction. If this card is summoned by its one effect as a graveyard, and sent to the graveyard as a link material, you get to draw a card. My first question to you here is, you have to have a way to add it back to the hand to allow it to special summon, and it self-replaces itself when you draw a card. In terms of like pure advantage-based engines and things like that, not gonna lie, I think this is going to be one of the better cards coming out anytime soon, just because I don't know, when we had the old Stardust Turbo decks that would just snap your fingers and produce Quasar, cards like Latency were used just as generation advantage engines to kind of climb up the ladder. And I think, once again, you're seeing that same thing coming back here. You have a generation advantage engine that will allow you to basically further continue down your stream, also granting you another draw. So, I mean, hey, free Nightmare fodder. But, just that. And then Swap Cleric here. If this card is sent to the graveyard as link material, you can have that monster that used as link material lose 500 attack and then draw a card. Once again, am I missing the point here? They made 2 draw cards that are both Cyberse. Swap Cleric is 500 1000, which doesn't really mean too much to me, but the fact that you can have these be just draw cards, these are both self-replacements. This is something that we've seen with Goki and the bullshit that they bring to the table, but I think for the most part, the fact that these are both self-replacements seems super damn well worth it to me. Good job, Konami. You're designing some very good support for Cyberse. It's just taking you a little bit longer than I thought it should have. What are these things? Microcoder. 300 0. Okay. If you would use a Cyberse monster you control as link material for the link summon of a Code Talker monster, you may use this card in your hand as link material. So, it has to be a Cyberse already on the field to use this in the hand, and it has to be restricted to a Code Talker. I don't necessarily like the Code Talkers, but I mean, this is cool. If this card is sent from your hand to the graveyard as a link material for a Code Talker, you can add 1 Signet Spell and Trap card from your deck to your hand. If this card was sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 level 4 Cyberse monster instead. Okay. So, not only have you given me a means to speed up the process to producing a Code Talker with this effect in my hand, you've also given me the ability to search for a monster or a Signet Spell and Trap card. Alright, I see you. I see you, Konami. I see you. You're really trying now. Like, Cyberse, in order to be tier 1, needs a lot of effects like these. You have 2 draw cards, and you have a searcher. We're getting there. You know, shit could be tier 1 sooner than later. Code Radiator. Okay. 16/8 water. Alright. If you would... You can only use this card's 1 and 2 effects. Okay. You would use a Cyberse monster you control as link material. For the link summon of a Code Talker monster, you may use this card in your hand as link material. Okay, we have the exact same effect as Microcoder. Okay, I can accept this. If this card is sent from your hand or field to the graveyard as a link material for Code Talker monster, target one face of monster your opponent controls. That monster's attack becomes 0 and its effects are negated. This card was sent from the field to the graveyard and target 2 monsters instead. I think this is only... I mean, it's good for the fact that you can use this as a stepping stone with its first effect to speed up the process, but this doesn't really generate any advantage. There is the one Code Talker that I believe can attack multiple monsters. Not sure which link he is, but because of the way that this works, being able to target those 2 monsters, setting them to 0, is actually pretty crucial to take full advantage of that Code Talker. So by using this, you'll be able to get dual attacks, basically paralyze your opponent for more damage. But once again, I believe this effect does target. So it makes me a little sad there, but I can't win them all, I guess. Moving on along here. Oh god. Okay, so this is a Cynet card, I believe. Spell continuous. During your main phase, you can... that's some really weird wording. During your main phase, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck for this turn except for side monsters. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 Cyberse monster. Cool. So they've given them a field spell that grants them an additional normal summon for a Cyberse monster that takes away your ability to summon things that aren't Cyberse monsters. Okay, I mean, I'll accept this. This isn't a bad support card. And if a Code Talker monster you control battles, your opponent cannot activate card effects or cards until the end of the damage step. Cool. So they literally gave them the Ancient Gear treatment here. Congratulations. Well done. This is a massive improvement to Cyberse. Like, we're getting there. Cynet code. Anyone else feel like this looks like Devimon from Digimon? I can't be the only one that it just feels like this is here. Obviously, these are supposed to be the Code Talkers, but that really looks like Devimon in this instance. Alright, the hell does this card do? Cynet Codex? Yeah, Codex. You only use one of this card's name effect per chain. Okay. If a Code Talker is special summoned to your side of the field from the extra deck, you can target that monster. Add 1 Cyberse monster with the same attribute from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck except for Cyberse monsters for the rest of this turn. You cannot add another monster with the same attribute from your deck to your hand with the effect of Cynet Codex this turn. Why do I have to target the monster that I special summon? That seems fucking weird. Are they gonna make a Code Talker that's unaffected by all card effects? I don't think that would be a really good idea, because the wording on this is I have to target that fucking monster in order to add. Just hear me out here. This is some really weird wording here. But I guess if they produce a card that's unaffected by all card effects, you won't be able to target the monster to add. So I guess they're trying to limit it in that regard. But they are really pushing the agenda of the Code Talker down your throat here with everything that's going on. I'm not exactly sure why, but they're doing pretty well here. And then the last thing we got here today, Cynet Conflict. It kind of looks like Utopia at an angle, but it's obviously not. And then what's called over here is just chilling. So, you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Alright, well, I'm automatically saddened by my once per turn restrictions. When a monster effect or spell and trap card effect is activated while you control a Code Talker monster, negate that activation if you do banish it. And if you do that until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent cannot activate a card or effect with the same original name as that card banished by this effect. Congratulations, Cyberse. You have a counter trap card. Not just any old counter trap card. They fucking gave you the Calm by the Grave restriction. If you negate an Ash Blossom with this, your opponent cannot Ash Blossom you during the next turn. This is fucking adorable. I gotta give it to Konami. We're not quite there yet, but you fixed a lot of the problems that the Code Talker archetype has had. You gave them a counter trap card. You gave them a means to produce another normal summon, which is great. You gave them the ability to search for their spell and trap cards, and you gave them the ability to regenerate their hand. You know, the only thing that we're honestly missing here is a generic Reborn card for multiple Cyberse monsters, and probably more draw cards. Something a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more generic, and discard a Cyberse monster, draw 2 cards, I think would be great. But this is fantastic fucking support. We're getting there. Baby steps, though, because, remember, as always, the ride never ends on this new support. I'm super excited to see where this goes, honestly. But latency and swap cleric here, fucking fantastic cards. Alright guys, Deuce Arena. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.